Bam, bam, bam,
Kush's movie
bam.
review.
Kush's movie review. This week, he's discussed. What are you doing? What are you doing?
I was raising my hand in victory.
Oh, okay.
That
Cool.
music inspires me to make the
Oh,
best reviews I can.
um, John Wick 4, starring Keanu Reeves as Keanu Reeves with slightly longer hair than usual.
That's fair.
I
That's
love the
fair.
premise of it. I haven't. I haven't seen John Wick 4. Shocking. I haven't seen the movie you're reviewing. It often is very often, but the premise behind the characters, Chef's Kiss. So, how is the fourth installment of this franchise? Now we can call it, I guess, in a way.
No, you can call it.
Kush Hayes, take it away. Tell the people.
Well, let me ask you before we start the review, what did you think of the original John Wick? Have you seen the original John Wick?
No, I have just looked up the
Oh,
synopsis on Wikipedia, and it looks really cool. But I just haven't got around to watching. It's one that I just keep meaning to do, and I think they're all on Peacock.
probably.
I think
Or HBO Max, or
so.
they're the
I'm
first three are definitely on streaming right now,
yeah. So
and all together on the same platform. Like, oh, I gotta go Peacock for this one, and then Netflix for this one, and then Plus for this one. They're all on the same platform. At least they were
isn't
as
this
of this
isn't the
recording.
it's like a dude, and he's like either his dog gets killed or his dog gets kidnapped, and he just goes on a rampage.
You're half correct. So, the original John Wick is kind of just an indie thriller. Okay, Keanu Reeves and his stunt double from The Matrix, Chad Stileski, got together and like, what if we could make a movie that just like highlighted what stuntmen go through? Like, let's just do all the stunts we couldn't get in The Matrix. Let's do all the stunts we couldn't do in that one project. The thing that everyone's like, nah, homie, that's not safe. Like, we can't do that. We're gonna do that here. Okay. And it was less than 100 minutes. It was balls to the wall action. It's actually had an emotional story where Keanu Reeves plays a former hitman who had to do an extraordinary task to become a former hitman and not a current hitman or a dead hitman, but fell in love, found a woman, they get married. God damn it, Mike. She gets cancer. What kind of cancer? The worst kind of cancer that kills you.
Vagina cancer.
And she got vagina cancer. And while waiting for vagina cancer to take her life, her essence, her soul, she somehow makes arrangements for a puppy to be delivered to John Wick once she is finally not of this mortal coil. And once that dog comes in, he's like, well, this is weird, but okay, here's a note. Here's the last words I'm ever going to see from my wife in a card. And here's this puppy that is supposed to help me through my thing. Let's just walk through this. And
Pause.
within a day, pausing,
Mike Fish, Daily Waffle Box with a question.
Mike
So,
Fish,
so
Daily
the,
Waffle Box, I recognize
the
you.
so the dog is delivered like what, the day of or the day after she dies?
I'm not sure if it's even a week after, but she's dead. It's absolutely confirmed that she's dead. And then one day he comes home and like, hey mate, here's this puppy that was, it's being delivered to you, and he's like, what the fuck?
So
Like,
do
but
they
he's
have
very
strict
just accepting of it.
instructions? Don't deliver the dog until I'm dead.
Probably.
And then like every now and again you'd have like, here to deliver it. Oh shit, she's still alive. Well, see you tomorrow.
If you want to poke holes in this story, you can. However, in this story, the bitch is dead, and then a puppy is delivered to Keanu Reeves. Like,
I
that's
hope she
that's all
left a
I
good
got for you
tip.
right now. There was no tip transacted here, unless it was done electronically, which probably wasn't because it's her account and she's dead.
PayPal. Anyway, carry on.
Carry on. Um, one day, maybe 2 days, has happened once this puppy is delivered, and then some Russian gangsters got their eyes on John Wick's car, and they even offered to buy it. And he's like, "Car's not for sale, gentlemen." And then he goes home like nothing happened, but they followed him home, and then the home invaded, and they knocked
They
out John
rewind that
Wick,
car.
and they killed that puppy. And then he's just like, "Oh shit, it's fucking on." And you stole my car. Oh, now it's fucking on. And you get this fucking great dramatic scene where like he's got a pickaxe and he's got a fucking hammer into his basement floor because that's where he buried all his guns and his fucking suit and the currency he's going to need to survive in this world. Mike Fish, it's an amazing goddamn movie, and I'm so sad you haven't seen John Wick Part One.
I just love the order in which those things happened. And it's like, my wife is dead.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my puppy is
Mm-hmm.
dead.
Mm-hmm.
I need to go for a drive to clear my thoughts. Oh,
And he does some
fuck.
driving.
That's it. That's over the line now. My car.
You see this movie, you're gonna. I think you're gonna sincerely love the first John
Oh,
Wick.
I'm
The
sure
next
I'm
three,
looking
I
forward to
don't know
watching
what.
it.
Like my personal opinion. This isn't a review for the first John Wick, but that first John Wick, what I'm leading with in this interview, within this review, is that first John Wick should have been its own movie. There should not have been any sequels. There shouldn't have been. We can make this bigger. We can make it better. It should have just been its own thing. And then because it did make so much, Chad Stileski, director, and Keanu Reeves, superstar, should have just made three other different movies where they go balls to the wall action because shit just gets out of control in this movie, Mike Fish. I'm not going to walk you through the next two films, okay? But
John
everybody
Wick
in
2. Ah, they're taking that car too. Fuck.
John Wick 2 takes place the very next day
Wow.
after he's completed all his objectives, and he's still got knife wounds and staples and a new puppy, by the way. Um,
That was a
Everything
weird
goes
delivery
crazy, and now he has
instructions.
to murder more people, and now he has
Deliver
to murder
this
more people.
dog after I've died, and if the other dog dies as well. Jesus. I've got like six of these.
No, you'll just have to discover how he gets that second dog. However, it
Okay.
just goes crazier and crazier, and the stunts get wilder and more dangerous. And I get why people like this as a series. It's one of the most stylish action films ever. I whatever the second most stylish series is or a stylish movie is, I can't tell you because this one exceeds everything. The lighting is fantastic. The choreography is all on point. So like you can see the action. Okay, lost do the different angle, like just jump cut, jump cut, jump cut, jump cut. So it looks like something exciting is happening, but nothing happens. This one, like they focus on the stunt. Um, but in John Wick 4, shit just kind of gets mean, dude, to the point where thankfully this gentleman is just a faceless henchman. And by a faceless henchman, he's got a mask on, so you can't see who he is. He's probably been in 4 other scenes and been murdered 6 times now. But the actor in this costume with the face mask with all the body armor that's supposed to protect him from bullets and etc literally gets just thrown down an escalator, not a flight of
Ooh.
stairs, an escalator. And you see it and you're just like, this is fucking mean.
This
Like you didn't have to
escalators are
do that.
metal and they've got like teeth. The edge of the stairs have got teeth. That
Teeth
shit
and
probably
they're
hurt.
sharp.
Fuck.
Yes, like it's not just a regular flight of stairs this dude was thrown down. He was thrown down an escalator. And thankfully it wasn't moving. But still, you're just like, uh god damn, dude. Like you didn't have to do that. Um Forward, or maybe a precursor. So, about 18 months ago, there was a very indie-rific movie out there called Rust. It still hasn't been released yet. It stars Alec Baldwin. He's the producer, not the director, but is the
I
star.
killed someone.
And there's a scene where he's supposed to have a gun in his hand. He points it at somebody. It has a blank in it, and he's supposed to murder the character on screen. However, there was mishandling of firearms on that set, and I haven't read the thing, but here's what did happen. A projectile shot out of that fucking gun barrel and not only went through like the cinematographer, but killed someone else on the set. And so there's been a big whole thing and a debate about like, well, how real do we have to make these action films? Like, we've got CGI. We don't need squibs anymore. Like, we could just
or
you just need to do
when
that. You can
when
just do
someone's
that and
filming,
then plug in a flame.
like if they're doing that, right? Have no one standing in the line of that gun.
And on most sets, that's usually also a precursor. Like, just to be safe,
Yeah,
no one stand there
yeah. This is
within the
just in
thing.
case.
But again, this was an indie picture, and well, unfortunately, one person got shot, another person got killed, and it's been a whole thing. Should Alec Baldwin face charges? Actually, he's not. But um, because of that incident, lots of safety issues have taken over on sets to the point where, like, even John Wick 4, who's like, we want to make this the most realistic action movie ever. We want to do Krav Maga and Gun Fu, and we bang, 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 and everybody dies, and it looks super awesome. And despite throwing a guy down a flight of an escalator, we can't have guns firing blanks on this shoot anymore. So everything is CGI. It doesn't have the same weight, which is weird. I'm all for safety. Consequences aren't the same in this film. And this entire movie is all about consequences. Like it's buzzword like Fast and the Furious has family.
Family.
Family is also brought up in this, but they're talking about consequences. Lots of consequences are brought up in this movie. And guess what? They have bulletproof suits. I'm talking about, like, you
Ooh,
remember, those New Year's Eve episodes I do where I'm in a tuxedo?
I do. I'm
They're
there.
also in a formal suit, and then they're just going, "Oh my god, bang, 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 bang. Like, you didn't hit me, got you, bang, bang, bang. Now I shot you in your face." Like,
It's
the
like I
suits are
have
now
a
bulletproof.
bulletproof mask on. Haha.
Well, so the faceless henchmen have bulletproof masks on. However, these
If you,
fuckers
if
are
even if
wearing
you
formal
had,
suits.
even if a
They're fake
bulletproof mask was a
John
real
Ford
thing,
suits.
and even if a
Get
bulletproof
punched in
suit
the
was a
head.
real thing, you'd get a hit that still would be like, oh, you'd probably
Mm-hmm.
still get knocked over and it would hurt.
Yes, by a lot. By a lot, Mike Fish. That is a great point you just made there, not having
Thanks.
seen this film. And yes, yes. So, however, having said that, again, they're wearing bulletproof suits, Mike, where they can literally run into gun scenes like that. Like, oh my god, like I'm now protecting my covered face. But guess what? Some Japanese chick with some sword that's been folded 7,000 times just stabs through that shit. Like, it's very in. The rules of this movie are inconsistent. Like, dude, I'm all about some dude with a magic glove just snapped his finger and eliminated half of life in the
Yeah, that makes
galaxy.
sense, right? It's
I
science.
can I can see a bulletproof suit, but then, like, a knife is just what bullets can do. A knife is just doing right now. I don't care how many times it's been folded or mastered. Like, some dude just gets stabbed the fuck up, and again, it's fucking mean. And while he's the aggressor in this, like, oh my god, bitch, like he's dead 3 times now. Just stop.
And then she like insults his hair while she's doing it. It's like, geez, that's a low blow, man. Low blow.
He may have. He may have. This movie is rated R. It is 2 hours and
Really?
49 minutes. It should actually be a PG-13. There's some blood spatter, but because of all the squibs, and you're just like, my man John Wick, that roundabout in France?
Oh,
You're trying to get to the it's
annoyingly, I do know the roundabout that you're talking about. The one with
there's
the
a fight scene in that.
yeah.
It's like 5 lanes long. Yeah, yeah. The roundabout. Well,
I've walked, I
we're just gonna assume
walked,
we're
I
talking about
walked
the same
across that
thing.
roundabout and went because that the building you can go into that building and things like that.
Okay.
Very
Well,
true.
there's a fight that happens during traffic in that. And you think at some point traffic would just stop and let this fight happen, but traffic just keeps going through it. And bad guys are getting thrown into cars, and John Wick
Look
gets
at
hit
these
by 5 cars.
stupid
Not
Americans
hyperbole.
fighting on their
Ryan Watt.
roundabout. Fuck them.
John Wick gets hit by 5 fucking cars in this, still gets up and just keeps murdering people.
Aha! I was wearing my
I
car-proof suit.
I wish he had said that because I would at least been like, oh, well, I guess that's a thing. I want to love this movie. This is a very great looking movie. It's very well shot. Again, we hang on stunts. There's no fast cuts where just nothing happened. Like people are taking these hits, people are being thrown downstairs. Shit, people might be being stabbed up for all I know. It's sloppy, and where that first movie is about a man dealing with grief and like, oh, not only did you steal my car, but you stole this token that my dead wife gave me so I could deal with the grief of losing her. We're not even talking about that anymore. This is kind of on the level of Fast and Furious. You remember when they were just stealing DVD players and now they're flying it? We're kind of on that level. I don't think there'll be a John Wick 5, but if there is, I would not be surprised if it happens in space. Having said that, the formula is what it is. Again, there should not have been a sequel after that first one. That first one is a fantastic film. They all look great. The stunts are all above board. Better than you should expect from an action film, but they're also at some point just like we go too hard in the paint. When John Wick is being hit by 5 cars and still just Krav Magaing everybody, no. When we're talking about a bulletproof suit but then knives can just stab me up. No. Um, we went we went hard on this review, so I just want to get a couple details out there. So Shamir Anderson is in this. He's dope. I would like to see more Shamir Anderson. Donnie Yen. When has he ever been bad in an action film? I love his blind swordsman and gunman character. Bill Skarsgård of the legendary Skarsgård family. He is a creepy asshole in this, and despite like his mission is just to kill John Wick. He doesn't do anything else outside of just like you never see him with women, you don't see him with men, you don't see him doing drugs. It's just like I need to fucking kill John Wick. He's great in it. Okay. One of my favorite martial artists in the game right now, Scott. Not Scott Anderson. Jesus Christ. Anyway, that guy is in a fat suit and is doing wheelhouse kicks, hardcore Krav Maga in a 100-pound fat suit. Like this is there should be a lot of great in this movie, but because it is 11 minutes short of 3 hours, it's just like fuck you
Oh,
guys. It should have been 100 hours tops. You want to make it 2 movies? Make it 2 extra movies. Fine. I don't care, but there can be a thing as too much of a good thing. Okay. Stunts don't have to go as fucking long as they do. That fight in the roundabout doesn't need to be 15 minutes long. Uh, the bullshit with the bulletproof suits, unnecessary. Unnecessary. Just it's in fact it's just dumb. It's dumb. And that's the guy who loves the Fast and the Furious series. This is dumb. This series makes mouth breathers feel like they're Renaissance professors. Okay. Where they're just
wow.
like two
What the hell
killers,
of
they're
a
just talking to each other, and there's just a Renaissance painting like, the history of this thing. It's all about tyranny and going against the grain. And it's like fuck you, shut up, just start killing people. Like we didn't come here for this. Like stop being so much of a thing. So I don't know if I want to give this movie 2 out of 5 or 3 out of 5, but I uh this movie was exhausting in all the worst ways. There's a lot of great in it. There's a lot of great in it, but
wait,
its runtime is really felt.
wait,
Like this
wait,
shouldn't have been 3 hours.
wait.
Holding.
What are things that are exhausting in a really good way?
I like the action in this film, but the scenes should be all tighter. Like we just go on, it's literally
Like a
15 to
Toyga.
20 minutes of killing people. 50 again, John Wick is not a young man, so for him just be just Krav Maga flipping fools, like so many wrist locks, Mike Fish, so many gunshots to the head. At some point, it just so many times you stab a skull. It's just enough. There's enough. There's a limit, dude. Okay. And John Wick should have been a paraplegic after the second film. Okay. I told you he got hit by a car 5 times in this fucking thing. It's there's fantasy and there's reality and there's a fine blur in the middle, but this is too much. This is way too much. Okay. I would love that after John Wick 1, they didn't do John Wick 2 and they just made 3 separate different movies with all the best action. But at some point, like John Wick should be just dead. Like,
why won't you die?
Why won't you die is actually a great question in this series. Like, what the fuck, dude? And that's really all I want to say about this. But this, I understand it's got fantastic reviews on the Rotten Tomatoes right now, and maybe you guys haven't been paying attention, but story wise, canonically, all that fancy shit we like to talk about on the internet,
All
like,
that jazz.
no, this series is breathed too long. Okay, John Wick should have just avenged his puppy's death, picked up his new puppy, and moved on in life, and we shouldn't hear anything about it. Like, there's a lot of we should have left with I want to know more, and then not got those answers. It's one of those things where, like, oh, you're explaining shit now. I don't like these answers, and I'm fully happy if that is just me. But yeah, fuck it. John Wick 4, 2 out of 5. I wish it was better. I hope to see Chad Stahelski do more. This movie is breaking records. I can't see why he won't. I want to see Keanu Reeves in more. People are making fun of his acting again because of this movie, and it's like nothing's changed.
Yeah,
Keanu
he's been pretty consistent through his career.
He's been consistent. You like him or you don't. I like him, and for what this was, it's fine. But it's the same story every time. I'm trying to get out, so I'm going to go deeper in, and then I'm going to get out, and I'm going to murder 11,000 people on my way there. Like, he gets thrown down a flight of stairs twice trying to make this deadline. And you're just like, just no, I don't want that. I don't want that. So I wish I had a better review for John Wick 4. 2 out of 5. 2 out of 5.
Get out of here, John.
I don't think it's worse than Ant-Man 3, but Jesus fucking Christ. Enough. Like, there's, again, too much of a good thing.
That's all, folks.